Hi and welcome to the Creative Treehouse. My name is Robin Broom and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. Thanks so much for joining me in the Treehouse today. Today I was working on watercolor backgrounds and using different techniques. This has been one of my favorites so far, so I wanted to show you how I accomplished this look. I think it's probably called smooshing, but you can tell me if it's something different. So this I used I think it's the Meadow die, either Meadow or Harvest die, one of those, and I just cut out it out of basic black, and a sentiment there was in Memento black, but it came from a paper pumpkin set, an old one, but there's plenty of hello sentiments out there. The base under here, the one that we're going to be working with, is the thick basic white. You just need it to be a little bit thicker because of the water. And then I have a matte of the basic black and then basic gray. So is the card base. So let me show you what else we need to get this party going. All right, there's my piece, and it measures 3 3/4 by 5, and I believe the black mat is 3/16 bigger, but I'll put those in the description, and you can also find them on my blog. This is kind of a messy proposition, so I'm going to try to cover up my work surface just a little bit with some paper, and I'm going to be using some wax paper. You can tell I've already been working on it. And you'll need a spritzer, and the Stampin' Up! Spritzers come in packages of 3, and they're not very expensive, and you can put water in them or the rubbing alcohol. There's neat things you can do with that as well. And then I'm using re-inkers, and I'm using gray granite and smoky slate and basic gray. And I'm also using a piece of, it's just the outer wrappings when you get a brand new die set, Stampin' Up! Die set. It has plastic that you take off and you basically just throw it away. And I took the flap, cut the little adhesive strap flap off, and then I cut it in half. And then so you had 2 pieces here and 2 pieces underneath, so you end up with 4 of these. I tried the acetate, the clear window sheets, and they were a little bit too thick. I like to have it to be more mobile, and this just worked really well. The acetate sheet also was, the edge kept making lines, so this is just more flexible, so that's what I'm using. I'm sure other things could work as well. So what we'll do first is that we will give a couple of drops, and actually I'm going to fold this over, I believe. Okay, and I'll just put a couple of drops of the gray granite. Let me do one more. How about 3? That was probably 2.5. And the smoky slate. And the basic gray. And then I'm going to take, and we'll be probably revisiting those in just a minute. I'm going to take the spritzer and try to carefully not make a mess and spritz some water on here on each of those. You could probably even use if you had like an eyedropper or something. All right, now I'm going to get a little bit further away, and I'm going to try to spray just a little bit on there. All right, so now we take our plastic and we start to do the smush. And what I do is I kind of make almost a ball out of it. I make sure that the edges are not going down, that the edges are all kind of going up. And then I'll just put the plastic on it, and you can see that it makes kind of fun, cool patterns. Just pick it up and lay it on your sheet like that. You can move it around, pick it up and down like that. Let's go to our other color. There was quite a bit of water on the top of this, but That's okay. And then we can kind of smush that water around. Okay. Paper towel is also a very handy thing to have. All right. Like so. I'm not going into the basic black as much, or the basic gray as much, because it's very dark, and I pretty much would like it to be more of highlights. So hopefully the the crackle sound's not too much. All right, and let's go back in here. And just kind of move it all around to see what it. Every time you work with it, you're going to come up with different colors and patterns and things. It's just fun. Okay. And when I was little, I did not like getting dirty. I probably still don't really like getting dirty, but this is water-based. Yes, when I was little and I would get my hands dirty, I would just go like this. I wanted it off of me. So kind of funny. And my sister, on the other hand, was all about the dirt, and I think I even tried to get her to eat a worm one time when we were really little. Yeah, you know, big sister, and so you do like that. Let's see. Let's do a little bit more of the gray granite. I've pretty much run out of it over here. While we're at it, let's add a little bit more smoky slate. And we'll give it a little more water. Trying to make sure it doesn't go absolutely everywhere. Okay, so I'm just kind of looking at these two colors and trying to sort of alternate them. So this was we're going to put the gray granite in this one, and you can kind of pick it up and just move it around. See it how funny yet? All right, let's move to the smoky slate. So you're just smushing the plastic down like that. Alright, I'll go back to the gray granite. Gray granite to me has a little more brown tones in it, warm tones. Okay. Let's see here. Yep, and you can go back and revisit other spots once you need to. It's a fairly fast process as well. Doesn't take a long time. Okay, and so you're probably noticing that I'm not going into that basic gray, the very darkest color, because I kind of want that to be to just be highlights or whatever. So we're just gonna, and it's okay to have just, I'm gonna kind of spread it out a little bit and see what kind of things we get. Just little pieces. We probably need maybe just a little bit more water in that one. Let me spray it again. Yeah, there's really not a right or a wrong to this. There we go. And like I said, you can go back and revisit with other colors. Probably even mix them up like that. So there you have it. There's the smushy technique, and let me show you. Here's other ones. This is one I did just a little while ago, and it's not completely dry. Let me slide it up so you can see better. All right, here is the original, and then here's another one. So every time you do it, it's going to come out, you know, slightly different, but still really cool. If you make it a little lighter, then it's going to be easier to put a sentiment on it, and this will dry. This one is wet, so it's a little bit darker. It will dry a little lighter. So that is the technique, and it's just fun. And to me, it looks kind of like maybe granite or something, almost like a granite countertop. But Yep, just have fun with it and use a baby wipe when you're finished. Don't use a baby wipe on any stamps, but you can definitely use a baby wipe on your fingers. So let me pick this up, see if I can take it straight to the trash can, make sure my work surface is okay. Let me put the original card back here, and I'll have the dimensions on my website, on my blog, which is creativetreehouse.blog. Be sure to check that out. And thanks so much for joining me in the treehouse and for sticking around and watching this project. I'm going to stick some of these over here so you can just see just the wide variety that you get. And I think this is the wet one. This is the one that we just did. So yeah, isn't that just that's just cool. And you could of course use different colors and everything. So thanks so much for joining me in the treehouse. I hope you have subscribed to my YouTube channel. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button and you'll see a video probably at least every other week from me. Eventually it will be once a week. That's my ultimate goal. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time in the treehouse. Okay, bye-bye.